All right, looks like we are live. What's going on, guys? Gonna give YouTube a couple of minutes to let everyone know that we're officially live. Now, of course, I'm a little excited about the giveaway, so I'm gonna have a little celebratory dram. Hakushu 12 is the one I like to celebrate with since it is such a special and discontinued whiskey. Actually also happens to be the first ever review that we've done for this channel. So I'm going to pour a little right now while waiting for everyone to join us. If you guys are drinking anything, let me know what you're drinking. What's up, Mash and Drum Buddy? Hakushu 12 is getting poured, and Seth got some Jameson. Heaven Hill bottled in bond. Nice. So, of course, I'm going to try making this video as quick as possible just to announce the winners. But if you guys want to hang out in the chat room afterwards, we can do that. First things first, I want to thank Scott from Scotch Test Dummies had actually given me a way of how I can screen share. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Google Hangouts is actually activated with this live stream. Crap. He was telling me that Google Hangout is the default. So he showed me how I can screen share with you guys using Google Hangouts, but oh boy, this doesn't have Google Hangouts. Unfortunately, I think you guys are just gonna have to take my word on it. He showed me how to screen share. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing it now. I'm not seeing an option for me to screen share with you guys, and I am not seeing any Google Hangout stuff options anywhere around the screen. Well, that sucks. Well, obviously, you guys are here to win a couple of different bottles, or samples, I should say. So we got, obviously, Conor McGregor's Proper 12. We got Weller 12. And our own Brolic whiskey infinity bottle samples. So we are going to choose two winners live. Menu is usually on the left side for the screen share. Yeah, that's exactly what he showed me. That's usually what it is. But there's usually also a little thing in the corner that says that we're on Google Hangouts. It's not showing up for me, man. Nixon, what's up, brother? So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to screen share with you guys. Unemployed Mario Yamazaki is in the house. What's up, brother man, right? Little heart. You guys are just gonna have to take my word on it. I'll take pictures just so we can actually keep things on the up and up. So I had a spreadsheet for everybody who entered through the Instagram post. I put it in a spreadsheet, which I'm going to snap a picture of now. Boom. So what I did was I copied the entire column of the spreadsheet with everybody's Instagram name. If you go on random.org, which is what I'm about to do now, actually, I'm going to copy the column first. So since I can't screen share with you guys, unfortunately, hopefully you guys can still see me. I'm on a different screen right now. I know you can hear me, but I hope you guys can see me too. I'm copying the entire column slowly but surely because we had a lot of entries. Copying the entire column of Instagram names, copying that. I'm going in random.org. There's a setup where you can do a list randomizer. So I paste everybody's name in there, hit the randomize button, and now everybody's entries are all scrambled. Top chat, there we go. All right, just before I move on, you guys were able to see me when I said I was doing all that other stuff? Just give me a quick little answer, thumbs up or yes if you were able to see me when I went off camera looking at the other stuff. Cool. Awesome. So I randomized the entire list. So now everybody's stuff is randomized. I opened a separate tab for random.org to do the number generator. Hitting generate right now. 118. So now I go down to this list, see who number 118 is. Don't know if he is in this chat room, but number 118 Instagram handle is In John We Trust. In John We Trust. That is Silent J Assassin on YouTube. Are you in the chat room, Silent J Assassin? Because if you are the first winner to get the 3 samples. All right. Sorry, Seth. We're still gonna choose another one right now. Here's what I'm going to say, just to get this out of the way too. Sorry. Let me backtrack a little bit. I want to ship this stuff out ASAP. So I'm hoping either Monday or Tuesday to mail the samples out. So I'm giving the winners that we choose until Wednesday to hit me up with an address. If they don't get back to me by Wednesday, then I will open up this list again and choose new winners. Also, I did say this is for US residents only. So if they end up giving me an address and it's not a US based address, then again, I got to move on and choose a different winner. So those are the 2 caveats. Third caveat, if this would be crazy, but if In John We Trust wins a second time through this random org giveaway right now, he'll actually get the opportunity to choose 3 samples of mine that are open. Any open bottles, I will let him choose from there. So just hit generate again. That's 105. Adam Russell. Adam Russell. Do I have a? Let me see if I can find his YouTube name. He just Adam. So is Adam in the chat room? Because if you are, you have until Wednesday to give me your address, and we will be sending you out some samples. Of course, I'm going to post this in Instagram as well, so they have the opportunity, if they're not watching live, to hit me up. So I know if we got 300 entries, I would choose a bunch of additional winners. Man, I haven't even taken a sip yet. My nerves are shot, man. I don't know. You guys might not might not know how nerve-wracking this is to go live and doing something that you've never done before. So let me take a sip. Kushu 12 is so nice. Before I skip, I did see I had a question. Seth said, if I don't win, are they worth the buy? Look, I got a shit ton of hate for that Conor McGregor video. I knew it was coming. Conor McGregor is a polarizing character. He's got some vile fans. Vile. Some of the most hateful, hurtful shit I've ever read in my life was said in those chat rooms or the comment sections. They're disgusting. If you can even call them human beings, for some of the shit that they were saying in the chat room. We let some of the hate slide through, right? I don't care. There were certain things I was like, look, you're making fun of my eyes. You say my eyes are cockeyed or whatever. Okay, cool. You're calling Mike a douchebag. All right, cool. But some of the really vile things I couldn't let slide, so I had to make sure that the comments didn't go through, because we're talking about racist shit that was being said, or just people saying to kill yourself. I mean, it was some really vile shit. I was expecting hate from some of the Conor McGregor fans. Never expected what we've actually had to read. But I don't think that we actually hated on his whiskey that much. I thought we actually gave him some benefit of the doubt. I made a mistake. I actually thought that it was Conor McGregor's own label. So that was my mistake for thinking that he owned a distillery, not that it was just his own label. We've since learned that it's not made by Conor McGregor because he doesn't have a distillery. It's possibly made by Bushmills. I've reached out to Proper 12 trying to get an interview. They are refusing interviews. That tells me that there's some things that they're trying to hide from the public. But I'll probably get hate for this too for any Conor fans that are listening. But I would say, unless you are a Conor McGregor fan, there's no reason to buy Proper 12. It's not a good tasting whiskey. It's a very bottom shelf Irish whiskey. If you've had inexpensive Irish whiskey like Tullamore Dew or Bushmills, you've already had better. So if you've had better and they're cheaper, there's no reason to buy Proper 12 unless you're a Conor fan. So I have no problems with people buying it just because they are fans of his. That's cool. But if you're a whiskey drinker and you enjoy whiskeys, you're probably not going to want to buy this if you're going to enjoy it. But Weller 12, on the other hand, if you can get this at retail price, yes, it's definitely worth to buy if you're a bourbon fan. Problem is, secondary market has really driven those prices up big time. I've seen it sold for as high as $300 a bottle for Weller 12. It's not worth that. It's a $40 bottle. If you can get it for $40 or less, then yes, it's a buy. And obviously you can't buy our own brand of Infinity bottle. So to make that short answer long, Seth, if you're a Conor McGregor fan, go ahead and buy Proper 12. If you're not, move on to something else. You already said you're drinking Jameson. Jameson's probably a smoother drink anyway. But since I've rambled, I said I was going to choose additional winners if we hit a certain goal. I'm feeling generous. You guys really helped me grow my channel big time over the last month. September has been a big month for Brolic Whiskey, with me being selected as the Whiskey Warrior from the Whiskey Smiths, which was honorable. I was so proud of that. I will choose. The reason I was doing all these live streams throughout the week was I was trying to get as many empty samples as I could for you guys. I have an additional 5 empties. So right now, I'm going to choose 5 additional winners to get the Infinity bottle. So the Infinity bottle samples, I'm going to choose 5 additional winners right now. And I should have been taking notes for the winners. So In John We Trust and Adam. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to choose 5 more winners right now. Generating number 33 is, oh man, why you gotta give me a name like this to try to pronounce? Missingno_1. Let's see if I have a YouTube name for that one. Not everyone had given me a YouTube name, so since it was an Instagram giveaway, a lot of these are just Instagram names. Nixon, that's you, buddy. All right, Nixon. Thanks for joining us, by the way. So I'm going to send you a sample of our personal Infinity bottle. Don't know what that is. I did make a video on what the heck is, but to make it simple, of everything that I have reviewed thus far on the channel. That includes, been listed, all the videos that we shot, plus things that are still in the pipeline that haven't been edited yet. Just email me brolicwhiskey@gmail.com with your address, and I'll make sure to get this out to you. Hope 4 more winners to go. Generating 4 is Neiman's Knife Works. That I know for sure is an Instagram only. They did not have a YouTube. So I will have to hit him up. So we'll just move right on to the next one. 3 more winners. 117 is Mrs. Griffith. I believe that was also an Instagram only. Let me check my list here. Remember, she was one of the earlier ones. Yes, she was telling me her kids have the YouTube and she couldn't figure out how to how to get into it. All right, guys, we have 2 more that I'm going to generate right now. 117 again. That's weird. 34. 34 is My Bourbon Journey. He actually just got in. I got in at the end of the giveaway. Technically like an hour after I said I was going to close it, but I wasn't going to not let him in. My Bourbon Journey. Scotty, hopefully, I don't see him in the chat room, so he doesn't know he won yet. I know that's Mashing Drums boy. They both tagged each other in their entries. And the final entry winner is 143. All right. My Bourbon Journey won that one again. So that's 2 in a row for My Bourbon Journey. Is that fair, guys? Should I let him win 2 samples or should I move on? Give it to someone else. What do you think, Mash and Drum? I know that's your boy. Guys, I see there's enough in here for you guys to answer. Nobody's going to answer? Going to make me make the hard decisions on my own? Oh, my God. Hakushu 12 is so damn nice. All right. I appreciate that, Mash and Drum. So spread the love. Tony Crunch says spread the love. Mash and Drum knows his friend. Scott would want us to choose someone else. Spread the love out. Number 36. Really? Random.org keeps choosing the same people. Nixon, you won a second time. All right, 149. Mason.ham. Mason.ham, do I have a YouTube name for you? Let's see. Got a lot of entries, man. I was impressed. I know I gave myself a big goal, but Mason.ham is Barrow Thick. Are you in the chat room, Mason? All right. So all the winners have been selected since those are how many empties I have. So my goal is, although you got the 2 grand prize winners, they can drink the proper 12 and Weller 12 on their own. But what I'm hoping for is everyone that has a sample of the Brolic Whiskey Infinity bottle will at least save it and drink with us live, because Mike and I have still never tasted from this. We're going to drink from it live, not this upcoming Sunday, but the following Sunday. I believe that's the 14th. We're going to do that live on the 14th. What we want to do is try to make this a big event, as far as many of our viewers as possible that do have samples to drink with us. But also, if you're local to us, if you live in SoCal, Southern California, and would like to drink with us live, we have an open door policy for that day to come drink with us, hang out with us, and actually drink the Infinity bottle with us together. We said we weren't going to open this until we had 100 subscribers, and obviously we jumped pretty quick with the Connor video, and then with the giveaway we kept pushing the date back. The reason I'm pushing it to the 14th is I know the mailman can sometimes be slow. We want to make sure that it gets to you guys on time, so rather than this Sunday, the following Sunday is when we're going to crack open that bottle. So I'm willing to hang out with you guys if you guys want to hang out. Otherwise, winners have been chosen. I'll reach out to everyone individually on Instagram in case they don't know. I know obviously Nixon is in here live. I'm sure Scotty's gonna know real soon because Mashing Drums in the house. You guys drinking anything? You guys hanging out? guys are kind of quiet for a chat room on Saturday afternoon, depending on where you're at. And, it's 12 noon by me. For some of you, it's like 3 p.m. Compare Proper 12 and Jameson. Well, so I don't have the regular Jameson. So that is something that I would have to pick up. Oh, well, congrats, Ativ. Thanks for joining us. I would like to do maybe like a three-way side-by-side comparison. So maybe regular Bushmill, since we kind of think that's where Proper 12 is being made. Jameson, maybe Tullamore Dew, and Proper 12. I think that'd be cool. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those in my collection because I'm not a big Irish whiskey fan unless it is cask strength like Cooley or the Tyrconnell. Even though that's not cask strength, it's a damn good one. I will tell you this. I might have another polarizing video coming out soon if I don't hear back from Proper 12 soon. I'm kind of offended that they are being so sketchy with answering simple questions. And when I say simple, I mean they claimed that our video was borderline offensive by what we said. Well, I kind of read almost everything that I could off the bottle. What were they offended by? That Conor McGregor was sued for the name Notorious? He was, so that's a fact. Were they offended that I said it was colored? Well, that's a fact. 100%, it's a colored whiskey. And anyone who's ignorant enough to not know that it's colored and thinks it's because of the barrel aging, no, you're not getting that kind of color from a used barrel that's so young. And in Germany, it's required by law to specify if a whiskey is colored. And since the German labels are out, we've learned 100% it is artificially colored. So that's two things. What else could they have been offended by? The fact that we didn't like the taste? Well, that's what reviews are for. We're giving honest opinions. So we don't know what they're offended by, but the fact that multiple people from the whiskey industry have reached out to Proper 12 to get an interview and they're turning all of us down, they're hiding something. And I've asked them flat out if since we know now that Conor McGregor doesn't own a distillery, where is it being made from? Because I'm getting conflicting information. A lot of reviewers are saying it's 100% being made at Bushmills. Then I've heard other ones say it's definitely not Bushmills. So couldn't get much more straightforward with one of my questions that I asked their PR manager. Where is it being made? Who's distilling the product? It's been over a week, and I will get back to you ASAP is all I've gotten. This could turn into a big deal if I follow up. I've been following up. I've actually said, listen, I know you're busy, but can I get a follow-up? And the follow-up was basically just a repeat of the first email, which was, I will get back to you ASAP. I asked a simple question. Where is it being made? Why does it take a week for you to tell me where is it being made? I'm all for transparency. I have no problem with celebrities getting into the whiskey world. My only problem is when you're trying to deceive people. If you're not being honest about where it's being made or lying, I know a lot of the Conor McGregor fans are like, oh, Conor always just uses my as a way of saying, like, I own this. I own New York. I own the MMA world. I own a distillery. There's laws in place that protect distilleries from having people say things like that. Somehow he's getting away with saying, I own a distillery. And I fell for it. I'm one of the guys who fell for his terminology because there are laws in place that say you're not allowed to say you own something that you don't own. Proper 12. I'm actually surprised that this label got approved because most people, and I've gotten this in the comments section big time, a lot of people assume that the 12 meant how many years this thing was aged. And that's understandable. Look, Weller 12 right next to it, aged 12 years. So it's easy to understand if you looked at this, Hakushu 12. That means aged 12 years. Proper number 12, I know now because of the label, means Dublin 12. It's a region of Ireland. But a lot of people automatically, they pick up the bottle, they think it's a 12-year-old whiskey. It's kind of weird. Oh, Seth, I've tried everywhere. I've tried Instagram, email, Twitter. They are flat out just refusing interviews. I'm not the only one who's ever reached it out to them at all. Is it blended from different places, Francis? That's what we're trying to find out. Their story is that Connor linked up with David Elder, and supposedly they blended 100 different types of blends. That doesn't sound accurate either. That just sounds like an arbitrary number that they threw out. But they tried 100 different blends, and then this is the one that they chose. But they're not saying anything else. Yeah, on initial launch, he's not happy. Someone rained on his parade. Well, they also got a lot of free publicity out of this. Just my video alone has almost 320,000 views. I know a lot of other people started doing reviews. Even people that aren't reviewers were doing reviews just to grab some free views. And he got a lot of publicity out of it. I mean, shit, the UFC press conference wasn't even a press conference. It was a proper 12 commercial. Nixon, maybe it's because his fight is next week, has nothing to do with Proper 12. Proper 12 is their own team, his own marketing manager, their own brand. If it was Conor McGregor that was actually typing out the email response, then yes. But no, when I'm dealing with the PR manager of Proper 12, it's a different story, right? It's not Conor McGregor that's answering the emails, and I wouldn't expect him to. He's got a whole team of employees to handle this. She is flat out refusing interviews with anyone in the whiskey industry. And to be perfectly honest, our review was probably the nicest one that I've seen at all. I mean, I've seen some reviewers that just destroyed the label, destroyed their review of it. So I feel ours was actually the most kind of anything I've read, outside of course, a couple of drunken Conor McGregor fans saying, "Oh, this is the best whiskey ever. All hail the king." Yeah, all right. Come without the bias and actually just drink the whiskey straight up. That's where you're going to see a different answer. But yes, it's a completely separate entity. He's probably majority owner, and there he is, my bourbon journey. He made it in, Scotty. I don't know if you got the word, but you are the winner of a sample of the Brolic Whiskey Infinity bottle. So all you have to do is email me, brolicwhiskey@gmail.com, with your address, and I will get this out to you next week. Would you say it's a high quality cheap whiskey? No, I wouldn't. Yes, Scotty, congrats, brother. I wouldn't say it's high quality at all. No, I actually think that $20 to $25 is the price that this belongs at, because it's not a high quality whiskey. I'm actually impressed that he didn't use his name to sell it at a higher price, but it belongs in the same league as a low bottle of Bushmills. You know, like a low end bottle of Bushmill sells for about $20, and that's what I feel Proper 12 is competing with right now. I would say Jameson at a similar price point is a more enjoyable whiskey. Yes, that is true, Seth. That's huge for him. He's going to ride out this Proper 12 thing with a new 6-fight UFC contract. where he's actually going to be a canvas sponsor to the UFC. That's huge. That's going to bring him so much money. First of all, let me just say this. Conor McGregor's reach is enormous. Obviously, you can tell just by how much my channel grew off of doing this review. And I don't hide anything about it. My channel grew big time because of this review. But if you look at some of the biggest names in the whole industry, Jameson and Jack Daniels and some of these other companies, they don't even have a Instagram or Twitter following as high as Conor McGregor does. And Proper 12 only has 4 posts, and they have like 250,000 followers the last time I checked. That's higher than Jameson. That's crazy. So he's going to make a shit ton of money off of this bottle. Whether it's good whiskey or not, it's obviously everyone's taste is subjective as well. Just because Mike and I didn't enjoy it doesn't mean you're not going to. But if I'm being fair and honest, personally, I would drink Jameson before I would buy a second bottle of this. That's just, and that's not saying I'm not a hater. I like sourced whiskeys. Black Feather is made by Rob Dyrdek and Travis Pastrana. They admit that it's sourced. They don't try to say that they distilled the stuff. And I really, really enjoy that one. I'm hoping to see the fight between Conor and Khabib Babadook. If the sales will keep up after next week, dude, the sales are not going to slow down anytime soon. Conor can get he can get knocked out in the next fight, and people are still going to be buying up his stuff. Conor's just that polarizing figure. He's going to be able to sell the shit out of this stuff. Just learned Brolic today, spelling it the wrong way. You'd think if he owned it, he'd put his name on it. Since he didn't, he might not own it. I don't know if I have a really shitty camera. Right there, that's Conor McGregor. There it goes. You guys can see that. He did put his name on this. His name's right there on the back of the label. Conor McGregor. So I do believe he's got a controlling interest in the brand. Again, would love to interview him. I asked them to interview for my podcast. I felt that would be the fastest and easiest way to get their name out. Especially what I said was my channel has over 300,000 views on this video alone. And if you feel the information is incorrect, here's your opportunity to tell me the truth, tell the viewers the truth, and get out any of the cross communication that all the different reviewers are saying. So I said flat out, let's get on the podcast. All I need is a phone. We get on the phone, we can record it. 5-10 minutes of your time, you get to say everything you want. I'm not here to dog your brand. Let you guys say your truth. And they said they were too busy for a 5-minute phone call. And it just, to me, that tells me that there's something's wrong. If we have that far of a reach in the whiskey world and you're too busy to clarify incorrect information, why wouldn't you just jump on the phone real quick, just say the truth that you want us to hear? And now it's been over a week since they've actually given me answers to the email that they said they would get back to me ASAP. What would you do? What would you think Proper 12 as a business should do to improve their quality of whiskey? Okay, the quality of whiskey is going to be different than what I would do as a brand standpoint. If I'm going to say, I think I said it in the video and I still stand by it. I would like to see them bring it up at a higher percentage. And I'm not saying it has to be a 50% ABV. It doesn't need to be cash strength, but bring it up just a couple of notches. I would not bring this out any lower than 43%. It doesn't sound like a lot, but 3% when you're tasting whiskeys does bring out a substantial amount of flavor. Maybe even bust it up a little closer to 46. If I'm not mistaken, Black Feather is 46. I don't want to walk away from camera just to go check my bottle, but 43 to 46 is one way to improve the flavor right off the bat. Stop trying to dilute it to the bare minimum. And the other thing is wait, time. It's got to, I think it needs more time to mature in the bottle. I mean, in the barrels. Don't just try to get it out there immediately without letting it age. I think a little more age, a little higher ABV, and this could do better. The other thing is just be transparent. Let us know what you guys are doing. Why not just buy something that has, wait a second, it went away. I was reading something and then you retracted the question. Scotty, you're very welcome for the samples. I would love for you guys to wait and drink it with us live on our next live stream, which is going to be Sunday the 14th. That one Mike will be there for. Mike works on Saturdays, so that's why we pushed the live stream to Sunday so that we can taste this one together. So Scotty, if you can wait till Sunday the 14th, that'd be awesome, and then we can drink together because we've never tasted it yet. The only reason why I'm probably going to buy it is for his fight. Seth, what state do you live in? Are you in a state where they're able to ship whiskey to you? And that's Ativ, that's exactly what we're trying to find out. We're trying to find out is, did he try to start a blend from scratch and just let it age 3 years? Because by law, it has to be at least 3 years to be an Irish whiskey. Is that what he did? Or did he buy up someone else's stock that's already been maturing, that's already been distilled, and just blend it together? That's what we're trying to find out. Because that's what a lot of sourced whiskey companies do. There's companies out here called MGP. They're out of Indiana that makes a lot of whiskeys that you wouldn't know about. And then there's whiskeys that you will know about because companies are transparent. And that's what I'd like to see. So Ativ, I'm trying to get to the bottom of that answer for you. Right now, I don't know which one it is. They're trying to tell the story. The story sounds like they're trying to claim it's from scratch. Nixon, what's the question? Why? What's a big deal? Yeah, Scotty, you can DM me on Instagram, or if you want to email me, brolicwhiskey@gmail. Either one works. I'm hoping to send the samples out Monday or Tuesday. So Nixon, did you have a little more detailed question? So the reason is because as whiskey drinkers, we want to know. We want to know the story. That some of the best things about whiskey is the story behind the whiskey. Whiskey always tastes best when it's shared with friends and you're having a good time. That's fact. Another thing that can make you fall in love with a whiskey is the story behind it. Jefferson's Oceans, for instance. Some people just love the story that it's aged at sea. It's on a big shipping container and it's actually hitting with the waves, and that's helping more surface area touch the wood, and it ages it a little faster. So for whiskey drinkers, we like to know the story, and we want to know flat out if you're starting from scratch or are you just blending your own. I have no problem with either one. I just want to know. I don't like when people lie and claim something as their own if they're actually sourcing it. Sourcing and bottling are one thing. Distilling and having pride of ownership of something that you made by hand, it's a little different. Like craft distilleries. There's an awesome one down the street from me in Oceanside called Shadow Ridge. They do everything in-house by hand. They're making the stuff themselves. They're aging it themselves. their story is a lot different than the guys that go down to another distillery down in San Diego and just buy their product, pour it into a bottle, slap a label on it. Those are two different things, right? You either making it and trying things for yourself, sampling, tasting, changing, right? Versus just me. Let's say Brolic whiskey was to start a label. Let's just go with that. I have a couple of $1,000 to just throw onto a label and make some limited edition whiskey. At that point, I'm not going to be able to make it myself because I'm not going to be able to buy a distillery. That's going to cost me $500,000, right? What I would have to do is work out of someone else. There's subleasing where I can actually work out of their distillery under their license and make it by hand. Or I can go to another place and just tell them, I want this mash bill, throw my label on it, and be done with it. Hands off, boom. Personally, I know whenever I do decide that I would like to make a special edition, I'd go the first route. I'd want to be hands-on a little bit. And there are places that will allow you to work under their license and make some bottles. And to me, that's just, if you were a viewer, like, and you wanted something that was made by Brolic whiskey, do you want to know that I just bought something and slapped my name on it? Or would you like to know, like, Dave and Mike were in the stills, they decided, hey, we want to use this much malt, this type of yeast, and I was actually in the field and actually working the stuff and made it special so that when I sold it to you, it's unique because I made it a certain way. I mean, personally, I think that's a whole lot more badass, knowing that I would have put in a little bit of time into it, tweaked the recipe, as opposed to just there's maybe 20 different bottles on the shelf that are literally the same exact thing, just different labels. Why not reach to drama alert? I don't know what that means, Atif. What is drama alert and how would they help us grow? Look, I'm definitely, when I started this channel, I did not want us to be a news outlet. And I definitely didn't want to be a shit stirrer. Didn't want to start trouble. This really was supposed to be just a hobby for us that was a lot of fun, with me being semi-knowledgeable about whiskey and Mike being brand new to whiskey. So he was able to represent the people that have maybe never had whiskey or just only had the couple of name, Jameson, Jack Daniels, the typical stuff. So the channel was intended to just be a channel for the non-snob. You don't have to be a whiskey sommelier to understand our tasting notes. You don't have to drink your whiskey a certain way at the certain temperature and, we'll talk shit on you if you don't drink it the way we drink it. That's not what we intended. Never wanted it to be that way. And even with the new viewers that we have, we're not going to allow it to change what our intent is. You're still going to see a lot of goofy shit that you might not think is funny, but we're cornballs and find some of the stuff we do funny. We'll post videos there. Trust me, there's going to be more Whiskey Warrior videos out there. You might see more WWF style characters coming out soon. There's going to be a lot of our personality involved. I don't want to become that channel that's clickbaity. I don't want a clickbait channel. Yeah, it might make us a quick buck if YouTube ever decides to monetize our videos, which right now we're not monetized. But if we got to that point, I don't want to be that clickbait channel. We want to be the channel that legit, you watch us because you like us, or you watch it because you want to hear our opinion on something. I definitely don't want to be a clickbait channel. With that being said, I do feel that I owe it to our viewers to follow up with Proper 12, because I unfortunately was one of the people that was misrepresented and believed Connor owned the distillery. So that's the only reason I'm going to continue to follow up with them. Their Twitter account, you can message them. It's just an idea for raising more attention to issues. I'm still not following a team. Do you mean like to try to get them to be the ones to like be the TMZ going after Proper 12 for not answering questions? Is that what you mean? Thank you, Scotty. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm getting at. Like, look, I have a blog and I have a podcast. Those are two different things that we do still in the whiskey world, but those are like my personal projects away from Mike. Um, I don't want to be the TMZ channel, but I felt like that was a good platform for them to be able to speak their mind is on my podcast and just tell us the facts. If they want to hide and never answer a question from any of us in the whiskey media, then so be it. I'm not going to chase them down like TMZ. But if I don't hear from them by next week, I'm probably just going to make some type of video asking like what is Proper 12 hiding from us, because there's something that's clearly amiss. I don't like what I'm getting from their PR manager. Anyone else drinking anything, or or do you have any other questions before I sign off? So just to recap, if anyone's got any questions, of course you can throw it in the chat box. But the top two winners, the ones that get all three samples, Proper 12, Weller 12, and the Brolic Whiskey Infinity Bottle, is In John We Trust. And the other one, I forgot to write out the full name. It was Adam Russell. Adam Russell is the other winner. So those are the two winners that get all three samples. The 5 that I chose as a bonus that's going to get the Brolic Whiskey Infinity Bottle samples, Nixon, who's obviously in the chat room and knows my bourbon journey, Scotty, you know. The 3 that I need to reach out to, Neiman's Knife Works. They're a knife company. They make like custom knives and I believe maybe even custom sheaths on Instagram. Mrs. Griffith, she also only has an Instagram. And Mason Ham, who has a YouTube. He's just not with us live. But those are the 5 additional winners. So we had a total of 7 winners today. I'm really, really sorry that we haven't had any edited videos posted. I'm still trying to learn this stuff. My wife's unavailable to edit out videos anymore. I cannot figure out Hit Film Express for my life. So I'm struggling trying to edit these videos. If any of you guys have any experience with Hit Film Express, please help me. I want to get some videos out. It's driving me insane to have so many videos recorded and nothing's uploaded. Other than that, we of course, as you can tell just by watching this live stream, I need better equipment. I want to get a better webcam for you guys. So because of that, we did start up a Patreon. The Patreon, there's a couple of different goals that I have in mind to get better, a better microphone for the camera, a better webcam for these live streams, and basically everything that we get from Patreon, if anyone does choose to support us, will go towards trying to make this channel a better channel for you guys as a viewer. And of course, we started a Teespring account, so we have some t-shirts out there. So if you guys want to support us, rock our stuff, there's a Teespring too you guys can look up. That being said, I don't see any questions being thrown in the comments section, so I'm going to sign off. Congratulations to all of the winners that were selected, and thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for helping us grow. And I will catch you on the next video. I'm cheersing with an empty glass, but cheers, guys. Take care.